Hey, happy Saturday. I reckon it's a pretty super Saturday, so it's time to draw a superhero. I'm going to give you a bit of a demonstration on how I like to draw superheroes. I'll be able to show you from the beginning to the end, and I'll do it nice and slowly in the beginning, so I can show you the first things that you'd want to draw. So if you like to try and follow along, feel free to do that, or hopefully I can give you a few tips and pointers that will help you improve your drawing, and hopefully be able to show you how you could draw your own superhero as well. So let's do it. Alright, so the very beginning is always the hardest part because you're staring into a blank space. So here I'm drawing a circle, it's going to be the head, and then next I'm going to draw some lines for the sides of the face. I'm doing this nice and slowly to show you all how I do it and to show you the small steps that you should take. So if you draw the head, draw the sides of the face, draw a bit of a neck and some curves for the shoulders and the jawline. Here I am just, trying to get the head a bit more prominent. So this is a process of, in my mind, there's nothing really in my mind yet. I'm sort of just carving it out on paper and seeing how it ends up. So far I've got a head, neck, and a torso. I've got these nice curved lines, and I'm adding in the shoulders. Once you get the head and shoulders and torso, the rest is pretty easy. You just think, okay, an arm should go here. I'll add the arms there. Extend the arms a bit. So just drawing really lightly, using just big lines, big smooth lines, not worrying about if I'm making any mistakes. Because we're going softly, we can always rub out the lines later. So we're just trying to get a basic form and a basic shape here. So the goal is, while you're drawing on the paper, you're trying to imagine it in your mind and create almost a 3D image in your mind. And you want to see that on paper and then draw the lines that need to be drawn next. So as you keep drawing, it gets easier. So the more you have on paper, the easier it is to add further details. The hardest part was just starting off, because when you're starting off, there's nothing there, it's just a blank piece of paper. But once you get some sort of shape, you can sort of imagine it in real life or in 3D. And so you can add extra lines and thicken up certain areas and change certain parts once you've got something. So this is more or less the shape we want. Just going to add a few lines to really define the body parts, defining the arm here and the chest right now. Just to really not add detail, but just to bring it to life a little bit. Make it really look like a solid shape instead of a flat object. So just adding in curves, and probably going to change these parts later on, but sort of just trying to feel my way around. And you kind of want to almost imagine you could pick it up like it was a real object with depth. So you can all do this as well. Just grab a pencil. My pencil is really small, you need to get a new one. But I like to just use a colored pencil, draw it nice and lightly, and that way I can go over it with a pen or something later on when I add the real details in. It's just a nice process of going around. The lines you like, you can add thicker lines to it, and the lines you don't like, you can rub out if you need to. I try and not rub out too much. Some people just use the eraser way too much and will never get anything on paper. So don't be afraid to make any mistakes. Don't be afraid to draw extra lines. You can always erase them later on. At this stage, you just want to try and find the lines and angles that you do want. And here I'm just trying to find the right shape that I'm after. So this is more or less where we want to be. At this stage, this could be anybody. This could be Wolverine. This could be Thor, Captain America, Batman. For this example, we're going to make it Captain America. But like I said, this really could be anybody at this stage. So I've sped it up a little bit as I'm going to add a few more details. It takes a bit longer. so I'm going to do it a bit quicker. So at the moment, just adding in some details for the cowl or the helmet. When I do superheroes, I try not to copy anything. I try not to look at anything really. Here I'm basing it loosely off the movie ones, the movie Captain America. But generally, I try and invent my own details and sort of invent my own costumes a little bit. So there is a little bit of thinking that goes in with these drawings, as I'm not copying anything per se. The reason I like to make up my own is because then I'm not trying to make it like anything else, and that way there's no way it can be wrong or incorrect, because it's my creation after all. So that's how I prefer to do it. Feel free to do what you like to do. If you want to copy something exactly, go ahead. If you feel like inventing your own, go ahead as well. This is how I prefer to do it and how I enjoy drawing. Some people really prefer to copy a picture already drawn, and other people like me, prefer to invent their own poses, invent their own drawings, straight from my head. That's what I like to do, and so whatever you prefer, whatever you feel like you might enjoy, feel free to give it a try, and try something new as well. So here I've added a few details. I've added in, you can see the arm prominently, you can see details of the face a little bit, and the cowl, the eyes. I purposely left the eyes just white. I guess it's a style preference, plus I'm a bit lazy. I don't really draw the other parts of the eye. Adding in the star, and right now I'm just sort of trying to work out the suit a little bit, trying to invent the seams and the lines in the suit. Probably going to change this a bit later on anyway, but it's just a process of just trial and error, seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like. If you don't like it, you can rub it out, and as you add more lines in, you can rub out some of the old lines. So once you've got your more final finished detailed lines, you can start rubbing out the old rough sketch lines that you did earlier on to get the basic form. So I always start off just drawing a basic form, and then I add in the details as I go. You really could spend a lot of time adding in details, and the longer you spend on it, the more details you can do and the better it might look. For this drawing I was a bit lazy, so you'll see I don't get too detailed. I keep it pretty simple. It's just a demonstration, just to show you the process of how I might draw a superhero, and it's the same process for drawing anything really, but in this example we'll do a Captain America. So just drawing the shield in now. I didn't put too much effort or time into the shield or anything like that, to be honest. Sort of just mainly wanted to show you how to draw a figure and add in the details. So just adding in the details of the belt now. So I chose to go the old school belt buckle style. So also adding in the pouches as well. So just adding them in as you like the shape. Just draw the lines darker and thicker. And I couldn't really get that much detail out of the pencil, so I'll soon switch up for a pen. I did plan on going a little bit more detailed with the pencil, but it got a bit blunt. I don't have a sharpener, so I decided, well, let's grab the pen. So apologies for the video quality as well. Sometimes when my head's in the way, it's not in focus. But here with the pen, I'm just going over the lines that I've drawn, adding in a few more details here and there. I try my best not to follow too closely the pencil lines. I do try and feel free to change the lines, change the angles, add in certain things I didn't have before. I try and keep it pretty loose and free. I don't go too strictly with the pencil details that I'd drawn. If you wish, you could always draw the pen lines and then rub out the pencil lines, but but I prefer the pencil lines in there. I feel it gives it another dimension, and I think it's more aesthetic with the pencil sketch lines in it as well. So just adding in the extra details like the belt buckles that I didn't even draw with the pencil. Drawing in some seam lines just to add a few more details. So the longer you spend here, the better it's going to look. But by this stage I get pretty lazy and just want to see a finished picture. So I don't spend too long. I don't I don't color it in or anything. But just adding in the details here and there. You'll notice some lines are thicker, some lines are thin. That's a good tip. If you want it to look really good, make some lines, especially on the outside, a bit thicker, and where the dark places are, add the thicker lines, and then have some thin lines around as well. Sometimes you can see me doing a little bit of shading. I'll go a little bit lighter on the pen and just add a few shade lines. I didn't add too many, but just enough to show what I'm trying to draw. So just adding in a bit of details for the gloves. By now getting pretty lazy, but it's more or less where I want it to be. And just adding in a few pant lines and some shield, and that's about it. So as you can see, this is more or less the finished product. If I wanted to, I could grab that blue pencil and go over where it might be blue. It might look a bit good like that. Or I could take it into Photoshop and digitally color it. Or the options are limitless. I could go further in and add a few more details here and there. But this was more of a demonstration just to show the simple process of how you might want to draw some superheroes. So like I was saying, I didn't add in too much. I didn't color it in or anything. Just left it like that, just keeping it pretty simple. If yours didn't turn out quite like this, that's okay. Keep practicing. I have so many drawings I'm not proud of, and the only way to get better is to practice. So the more you do, the better you'll get, and simple as that. If you got halfway through and decided you didn't like it, that's alright, just try again. Maybe you want to do a different pose. I kept that pose really relaxed, really basic, really simple. And so if it went well, maybe try draw another superhero. Maybe try draw Captain America with a different costume, or try draw something different. Let me know how it went. If you have any requests or anything you'd like to learn how to draw, let me know in the comments below. But I hope that I could help you a little bit, give you some tips and pointers and show you how I draw my superheroes, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys some more stuff soon.